Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for the Reborn 100 or the RE 100 line, and we have the Efreet custom. Finally, Bandai made this kit. I've been waiting for it. It's such a cool design. I like it. And they've teased this on Unicorn. It's a color variant on that particular episode. And you would think they make it since they're making the other grunt suits on Unicorn. But I guess they're just waiting for this particular one. And I like it. It's nice that it's 1/100 scale. It's bigger. It is in the RE line. It's actually this is my first RE. And it's more like a big scale high grade. Kind of like your no grade once they were called before, or your 100 Iron Blooded Orphans or IBO kits. And I will talk about that a little bit more later on. And here's the box art. Really nice. I like it a lot. Onto the side. Here we go. Kind of tells you a bit more details. As well as the other side here. Yep. And that's pretty much it for the box. I got all the runners they're rattling about. I got the kit here, and the first thing you'll notice, let me adjust my camera here, that is quite plain, yes. Another reasons why I don't really do much of model kit reviews is I just been lazy. Yeah, been lazy. I tend to just build the kits. It's kind of like a way for me to relieve stress. I like building kits, but I just don't have the time to focus and think of an awesome color scheme and worked on it in terms of adding details, painting it, adding the decals, and all that jazz. And as much as I want to do a review out of the box, when I watch reviews, I typically want to see a review that they've already put some effort on the kits, kind of like how Type V3 does it. They've at least panel line and add the decals. But for me, like I mentioned before, I tend to kind of let the kit sit around until something motivates me or inspire me to create a custom. I'll pick the kit again and work on it. So that's kind of how it is. But for this particular kit, I really liked it, and I kind of want to share my opinions about this particular kit with you guys, and hence why we're doing this review. So that is the reason why I don't do much mold kits. I have the time. Well, I enjoy building them out of the box, but just don't have the time yet to work on them. Anyways, that's the kit out of the box, and here's the instruction manual, which has the same artwork, and on the back side kind of gives you a bit more details. There is a decal sheet here. This is a green backing, so this is just your stickers. You have the clear backing on them, and it'll be nice if it's a water slide which has the blue backing, but we got the stickers, which is not too bad. So there is a guide which I'll show you in a bit. And you also have this for the stickers, for the eye, and I forgot where the other two goes. Somewhere. But inside you get this, which tells you where the decals go. They're numbered, so it's not going to be that hard to decipher where they go. But it's a little hard since it's not colored. Typically when you follow a decal instructions, they have scans of the kit, or they take photos of it like this. You'll put a direction, or a line telling you what number that is, and it's just a lot easier if it's colored. So we have that part there. Building this, like I mentioned before, it is like a high grade. If you look through the instructions, I kind of like how they've have this blown out. It's not much parts. That's probably why they're able to do this. And yeah, it's a fairly simple build. I actually built this in one sitting, surprisingly. I typically take my time building kits. But it's a very quick and simple build, very enjoyable, and quite nice. And something tells me a lot of the RE 100 lines are kind of like this. And slowly, I'm enjoying them. As much as I really like master grades, this is appealing because I remember building my Marasai. You know, there's a lot of parts on that, but at the end, it's almost the same size. Articulation is there, and the details is not bad either. So it works for me. Before we get to the kit, one more thing I want to point out also. You're gonna end up with a bunch of polycaps, and it seems like they use a lot of this polycap, or the PC1 part, which is right here. You got a bunch of them, and that's what they mostly use. Then you have your 2 and 3. You got spares, which is good. Sometimes the joint does get worn out, and you do have spares. So always keep those polycaps. Other than that, for this one, you only get 2 pairs of hands. You have the closed fist, and you have one or another pair to hold the sword. Other than that, you have another piece for the action base, and I think that's it. Very simple kit. So we have the Heat Hawk on the back here. Nice clear orange. I really like that. There we go. Oh, I don't think I forgot to mention. Alright, so I got the instruction booklet here again. I just want to point out that certain parts, like the missile pods here on the legs, the back side is also painted, but the kit is not, only the front side. So that's something that needs to be painted, as well as the missile pods. They've painted it gray. They do have a color guide here. We have them white, and among other things. And there's no sticker sheet other than the eyes and that the seals, you know, for this. So definitely that's something we need to add on if we're going to detail this particular kit. Alright, so for articulation, let's start with the neck here. It has some decent neck articulation. It's not the best. You can rock it back and forth. There we go, look side to side. It is connected by this double ball joint there for the neck. This does pop off, which allows you to move the mono eye. This little peg here. There we go. And also another thing I want to point out is be careful with this command horn, because you might knock this off, break the peg, and it does pop off from time to time. So be careful on that. Let's just put this back on here. There we go. Now for the shoulder, it is held by a polycap here. It's quite simple design there. The problem with this one is the shoulder here, the blue part, as you move this around, there is a tendency for the spikes on the side to get pushed out. Yeah, it just makes it easy to pop out. So either you've trimmed that a little bit more or glued that in place. More than likely glue it in place. That's probably the best way to fix that problem. But it is held on this polycap with on a ball joint, gives you rotation. And this shoulder peg does tend to pop off as well. A lot of things popping off, but yeah, as you just move the shoulder, it does have that tendency. So just keep that in mind. You do have a swivel here, which is great, but it doesn't really give you much of a reach because of how the torso is designed. It's quite elongated. You have your bicep swivel. You can move the shoulder up as much. You have your elbow bend. It's actually double jointed. There we go. Quite nice. Then you get your wrist joint here. And for this 2 macels here, it's actually part of the whole arm. If you try to pop it out, the missiles are still there. I guess you can remove this, put this back on, and it shows that you've already used the missiles. You probably can have that effect, but just mount it like so. And I guess you can't really do it this way. More of just a sorry thing when he's using it. There we go. And there we go again. Push that out. So be careful on that. And let me just get that. There we go. Moving on, we have the waist. The waist is actually a bit stiff. You can't really do much on the waist because of this flexible plastic, you know, the pipes that goes around the waist, and it goes on the backpack, and that kind of gives you a bit of a tension, and therefore you can't really move this much. I do have a bit of, there is a ball joint in the torso, just gives you a side-to-side motion there. On the backpack, you got this heat saber or heat sword connection, which just push it out. There we go. And these are quite nice. You can also remove this peg if you don't need this. And you do have that 3mm peg connection if you want to put a different attachment. Actually, you could probably put this on there, but it'll be too short. But that's an idea. Then you have your verniers here, which you can probably swap out with the 100s. Yeah, that similar peg connection. There we go. And I think that's it for that part. Now for the front skirt, it is in one piece. Usually they do that, and you can always just cut off in the middle, which allows you to separate them. Then you got your side skirt here, which is mounted on the side, not on the back skirt. And surprisingly, the back skirt, you can move that all the way out. Typically, they have the back skirt fixed, but well, they did that option there. Now for the waist, quite a bit of movement there. You can do a high kick if you need to. Move forward. And there is this cool gimmick on the waist, which we've seen before on 100s or master grades. You can slide that out, which gives you a bit more articulation, and yeah, quite nice. A knee bend, there we go, a little over 90 degrees. Quite nice. And we already talked about the missile pods here. And there's actually this armor here you can pop out. Let's see if I can do that here. It's held by a peg right there. And actually this leg and this leg is the same. So you got that connection there, and there is a separate piece that you can use to cover it up. Yep. Now moving on, you have your foot here. You've got some ankle articulation as well as a bit of a toe. Kind of interesting how this thing is, and also how this is connected. The polycap there actually can slide side to side. It's kind of hard to show that here, but you can move it all the way to that side, to the right, and all the way to the left. So you get a bit of wiggle room, and this gives you a bit of an articulation for wide stance. Yep. So that is great. Let's put this back on here. There we go. And you got more thrusters there. Yep. So overall, this is looking great. A few more things. Let's put on the sword. Alright, so for the sword, you're gonna grab this particular hand here. You just open that up. Grab your sword here. Now there is a peg there. Unfortunately, this one does not have it, but it does stay in there snugly, so I don't think it's much of an issue not having that peg. Let's put it somewhere there in the middle. There we go. Let's do the same thing on the other side. And well, playing around with this kit, there's a few things that I've tried. Actually, you can even hold this backside here. See, let's try that. On the shoulders, I tried flipping the polycap in there, thinking that will help hold it. It didn't, but it does give you that little bit of a ratchet feel if you want to have that. So you can invert that polycap. Right, so I got that there. Got the hands off. And this one here. And it's quite nice that it just clears off this back part of the forearm missiles. And there you go. And actually my background doesn't help much with the clear parts here, because it just basically reflects off. Yeah, till I kind of shine the light on it, you'll see it. So maybe we can do some kind of a spiral dance here, or whirlwind splash. But yeah, definitely you can do a lot of cool poses with the Efreet custom. Really nice kit overall. There we go. See, I got that color there nicely. Just get that. There we go. Close enough. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the review for the Efreet custom. It's a nice kit. I highly recommend getting it. It's not too bad. I believe the RE line, actually let me just check the box here. They're priced at 3,500 yen, roughly about 35 to 40 bucks here in US. So yeah, definitely worth picking it up. It's a nice kit. It's nice and simple, quick and easy build. And there you go. Hope you guys like my review. And again, I'd like to apologize. I didn't put any decals or panel lines, mainly because if I do plan to paint it in the future, yeah, it's just a lot easier without those. And if I do decide to do that, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, that's about it for this review. If you have any questions, let me know. And that's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.